Hello everyone, welcome to Talk Society. I'm Abhishek. Today I'm going to talk about a film called Wild Strawberries. The film was made by Ingmar Bergman, the famed Swedish filmmaker who also made The Seventh Seal, his magnum opus. Incidentally, the film Wild Strawberries was released the same year as Seventh Seal, one of his most philosophical films ever. However, both of these films, though they deal with philosophical questions of the meaning of life or the human conditions, they deal or tackle the subjects in two different ways. The Seventh Seal is more like direct. It has a lot of instances where the main characters directly engage with one another in discussions of uh, deep questions, meanings of life, etc. Whereas Wild Strawberries has for its premise mainly interactions between people in normal life scenarios, and through these interactions this film is trying to portray a much deeper essence of life and much deeper essence of human condition. Now this film White Strawberries revolves around the main character Isaac Bohr, an old professor, a man of science, who is about to get an honorary doctorate from the same university he graduated long time ago. Now the film begins with Isaac's own narrative of his solitude, of his old age, of the life that he has chose to live away from the people away from his loved ones, due to certain experiences that we would get to know in across the film. So the film begins in through a narrative of Isaac's own current scenario, and it moves along with one of Isaac's nightmares, where he finds his own corpse in a coffin. Then we get to see Isaac interacting with interacting with his maid, and we see that there is a tension, a rift between Isaac and his surroundings. The next day, Isaac embarks upon the journey to his old university with his daughter-in-law, Marianne. Now, in this journey, both of them come across many people. They pick up people in their journey. First, they pick up three uh, teenagers, a woman and two men. The woman looks very similar to Isaac's past love life, and strangely, the woman is also somebody who claims to be in love with both the men. Now, uh, this is a very important point, because when we see Isaac's daydreams, we don't see his memories playing in that dream. What we see is the the dreams are constructed of all the all the people from his past memory, but the scenarios are not the ones that he has seen. The scenarios are the scenarios or the situations are the vantage points that he didn't actually see in his past life. These are the reconstructions of of the scenarios that his subconscious mind reconstructs after he has lived through all these relations and seen all the consequences or the conclusions of these relations. So through these daydreams, we realize that the one of the girls who's taking a hair, one of the hitchhikers, the girl is a complete lookalike of Isaac's past love life, and the woman also is his past lover also chose another man, his own brother, Isaac's brother, as a lover, and left Isaac. There is also this symbol of one man loving two men coming into play from Isaac's past life. We also get to know that Marianne and Isaac's son are about to go through a divorce because Marianne is pregnant and Isaac's son doesn't want the baby to take birth in a life or in a world that he doesn't have any sense of belief in. Through this, through a lot of discussion through with Isaac and other people, the film constantly talks about Isaac as a person of cold indifference, as a person of mm, self-indulgence, as a person of insensitivity. However, throughout the film, we see Isaac as a person of warmth, as a person of generosity, as a person of good manners and cordiality. This gives a constant sense of a juxtaposition, a contrast between what's been said and what's been shown. Now, here what I think is that if Bergman wanted to portray Isaac as a cold person, he would have been it would have been very easy to portray him as a cold person. Instead, he chose to portray him as a warm person and chose to narrate his main character through the other characters as a cold person. I think this this contrast, this contradiction, actually symbolizes the social commentary that we get about each and every person in the society. That probably Bergman wants to tell us that all the social narratives, all the overarching social commentaries that we get about all the persons may not always be exactly what the person is. That's probably because the society has much less interest or incentive in knowing a person deep down than creating a comparatively superficial uh, persona of that person in that social context. We also see that human relationships uh, are not always a happy construction. They they may come across different kinds of problems, different kinds of mm, influence, different kinds of uh, conflicts may arise and remain within relationships. These are the elements that constantly imbibe in the film. They keep on coming up. They keep on showing. They keep on surfacing and keeping the tension in the film. We also see that Marianne and Isaac, they have a very candid conversation in the beginning of the journey, where Isaac clearly states Marianne that she doesn't have to pretend that she likes him. He knows that she doesn't like him. On the other hand, Marianne clearly states that Isaac's son doesn't like Isaac at all, and also states that both Isaac and his son share the same quality or same attribute of coldness or insensitivity. What we also see that in the end of the journey, Isaac reaches the university and gets the honorary degree. However, he feels really hollow and empty in the within himself, even after attaining the great accolades by the society. He's not happy because the life that he has seen throughout, the life that he has lived, the memory, the conclusive the conclusive structures of his life, they don't add to any contentment uh, at the end of his journey. But when he begins to understand that he probably hasn't acknowledged them so far, is what he begins to understand, that what's missing is an acknowledgement. So what we understand is that it's not about a life lived in regret, and one has to understand that he's at the end of his journey and his time is about to end, and there's nothing one can do. It's not a nihilistic idea. This movie is about the human condition. It talks about the fact that we all live through different kinds of traits, and not all these traits, and not all these what we are our conscious efforts of choosing to be what we are. We are a product of our environment. We are a product of different kinds of interactions in the society, different kinds of interactions in the whole nature. So the best thing that we can do is we can acknowledge everything, and we can understand, and we can put 1 plus 1 and equal to 2, and then we can understand the equation, and then with this understanding we can embrace the unforeseeable future. That's the essence of life. That's the essence through which we can embrace infinity. That's the only knowledge through which we can embrace any uncertainty. It's a very beautiful movie to watch, and of course the acting, the music, the the screenplay, these kinds of character and dialogue heavy films, they are they are really enriching. They kind of, once the movie is over, they kind of leave you with as a changed human being. There are things, there are elements inside you that are changed, that are connected. They create different neural synapses as you keep thinking about such movies. So this is a definite recommendation for me. Always keep an eye on such movies, and that's all. Thank you.